Recording. Welcome everybody to The World is a Mess, and I just want to steampunk it. This is episode 24, April 14th, 2021, and I'm here with my co-host Daniel Bertison from Bellwood, Ontario, California. I was about to say Bellwood, Ontario, California, but I meant Bellwood, Ontario, Canada. And I'm here in North Hollywood, California. How's everything going, Daniel?
Pretty good.
But yeah, I have been working on, let me move my webcam briefly there. This is like my repair workstation right by my kitchen. This is where I work on computers. Sometimes I resell them. Most of the time, I toy around with them and I learn a lot. But this is a 2009 Mac Pro 4.1, and right now it's running a hacked version of High Sierra. It's got 16 gigs of RAM, and let's see, 16 gigs of RAM. It's got your standard DVD burner. I think it's a Apple SuperDrive, and it's got a GTX 680. You can't really make it out, but it's the graphics card in there. I got the side off right now. But I bought it. This is an actual tip. If you want to buy like a used Mac, that Mac in fully working order, I bought it listed as for parts because it basically had no operating system on it, had no hard drive, because it was sold by Goodwill San Francisco. And they often remove the hard drives or remove the SSD drive if possible because we're worried about identity theft. Because Goodwill, a number of years ago, got sued for identity theft. Apparently somebody had bought a laptop, they had somebody's credit card information, and they got sued by the original owner who had donated the laptop, from what I had heard. So that's why, like Goodwill in California, most of the Goodwills in California, they don't even sell computers in the store, but they'll sell them on eBay for parts without a hard drive, without an operating system. That's just for data security purposes. And so I was able to get an amazing deal. I got it for 190 bucks. And it actually came with a Mac version of the GTX 680, which is a $200 graphics card, especially with the GPU chaos and what they call the GPU apocalypse of 2021, where there's a shortage of computer chips, including graphics cards. That graphics card is still good for gaming. It's still good for video editing. I mean, yeah, it's not the latest and greatest. And it was advertised as only having 12 gigs of RAM, but it actually has 16. I had to clean out a ton of dust on the inside of it that was interfering with it working. And I had to reseat the CPU tray, I had to reseat the RAM, I had to reseat the video card, I had to install an operating system, I put an SSD in it. It's got like a 500 gig Samsung EVO 860 SSD. It's only a SATA SSD, but eventually I'm going to add a PCI Express M.2 adapter and put a much faster M.2 for a boot drive. It's got a quad-core Xeon, I think 3520, which is it's not too terribly fast. It's quad-core. It's 4 cores, 8 threads, running at 2.66 gigahertz. But you can actually put a 6-core CPU in there. I was thinking about putting like a Xeon 5680 in there. The problem is that it uses special delidded CPU dies, and you either have to get a delidded die kit, which is a pain in the ass because you have to risk destroying the CPU. But the CPUs for this thing are cheap. You can get Xeon CPUs between anywhere from like $5 or $10 for a basic quad core to about $80 for the fastest 6-core CPU. It's upgradable. You can put a dual CPU tray, but unfortunately, the CPU trays go for $300 or $400. It's only got a single CPU tray, but I could take out the CPU tray and double the speed of the processors and double the RAM memory. But yeah, but what I intend to do is I've got a 6-core Xeon that it's a socket 1366 LGA, and it is completely upgradable to a 6-core CPU as is. But I either have to delid the CPU, but somebody actually, I watched the YouTube video, somebody actually took washers, and because there's 4 brackets that hold this massive heat sink, because it's indirectly passively cooled. It's got a passively cooled massive heat sink, and it's got an air intake and an air outtake fan. And anyway, trying to keep my headphones on, but yeah, I'm so excited because apparently all I need to do is add some extra washers, because when you put a lidded CPU, that's a CPU with a heat spreader built onto it in that Mac, you run the risk of cracking the CPU die because you're putting too much pressure with the heatsink. But if you buffer it with some washers, then you can upgrade. So I'm thinking about putting a 6-core. I think I have an X56 60, which is like 6-core CPU running at 2. Excuse me. 6-core 12-thread CPU running at 2.9 gigahertz, and that'll have to do for now until I can get a good deal on a CPU tray. I don't know if I really feel like getting a $300 or $400 CPU tray off of eBay, but Apple doesn't even sell parts for it anymore. But it's I'm pretty stoked because this is like back in like 2009, this Mac would have been like $2,500, $3,000, depending on how you configured it. And actually, I think it was $3,000 starting, and then if you upgraded the RAM, it was even more than that. And they still sell, if they're advertised as fully working and they've got an operating system and an upgraded graphics card, they still sell for like $600. So that was an amazing good deal that I got on eBay, because a lot of people, when they look at eBay listings from Goodwill San Francisco, they don't really pay attention that it's Goodwill and it's honest company, or at least honest as far as the products they sell. And when it's listed as is, broken for parts, but then when you read the description that it's missing the operating system hard drive, but it boots to a question mark, that tells me that the system is probably working, and it was correct. And so you can actually do a reflash of the firmware. You can upgrade it to a Mac Pro 5.1, and you can natively run Mojave on it if you have the correct graphics card. And the GTX 680 has drivers in Mojave, and it supports metal, and it supports 3D acceleration. And so it is a really good Mac. Yeah, it's not going to be as fast as an M1 Mac, even when I upgrade it to a 6-core 12-thread CPU. Even if I were to upgrade it to dual 6-core 12-threaded CPUs, it wouldn't be as good as an M1 Mac. But one area where it's better than an M1 Mac is it's expandable and upgradable, and you can upgrade it to like a Radeon RX 580 card, because I think Catalina Mojave supports the RX 580. And that card is actually the GPU. You can upgrade it to a GPU that's actually faster than the M1 GPU, because the GPU on the M1 is okay, but it's not as good as some higher end Radeon or NVIDIA cards. And unfortunately, Apple dropped all support for NVIDIA graphics cards, or at least most of them, starting with Mojave. But fortunately for me, this one came with a GTX 680, which has native drivers, and support for Mojave, Catalina, and Big Sur. It's one of the few NVIDIA cards that Apple still supports. Granted, it's only got 2 gigs of video RAM, but So in a lot of ways, it's better because it's more expandable, more upgradable. Yeah, it's only got USB 2.0 ports, but I'm going to add a USB 3.0 expansion card. Anyway, sorry, I know you probably, this sounds like a foreign language to you talking about computer stuff. I was just so excited because I got this computer working. I just got it today. I bought it from Goodwill off of eBay, and it was an amazingly good deal. I'm going to use it for video rendering on Final Cut Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so what's on your mind, Daniel? I know you said you had some news about MCU stuff.
Yeah. So we were talking on the phone. This is a rumor for now, but Marvel is going to work on a Wolverine anthology series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This is one of the projects that Chris Evans may come back for as Captain America, to introduce a new Wolverine. It's going to be like in the 40s, though.
Well, I mean, Chris Evans, Captain America, is still alive. He's just like, 90 years old. So,
but is he alive? Like, because in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they said he's dead.
Well, I don't know if did they say he was actually dead?
Well, they said they kind of had a memorial for him.
Sorry, guys, don't mind me. The LA smog is giving me the munchies. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say that
the LA smog, man.
Like, some people say that he's on the moon. Some people say he's on Nick Fury's space station. He retired there. Now there's rumors that he may appear at the very end of the series in episode 6 as like a WTF.
Maybe it could be the start of Marvel Zombies. He returns as a Marvel zombie.
As a zombie.
He could join his wife, Agent Carter.
Yeah.
They both rise from the dead.
Well, wait, his wife is
really hungry.
Universe. His wife is in a different universe. Because remember, he went back in time. He went to like the past of a different parallel universe. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it got a little bit more interesting with the new Captain America killed somebody and he got blood on his shield. He overreacted and he's kind of unhinged. But and he finally took the super soldier serum, and so now he's got superhuman strength and agility.
Mm-hmm.
But if you read the comics, like Captain America, even with the super soldier serum, he's got like superhuman strength, but only slightly, and superhuman agility, but only slightly. He's no Superman or Flash. But
yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So yeah, they're talking about a Wolverine anthology series in the MCU, and they want they want Chris Evans to come back as Captain America to like be there with the new Wolverine. That would be cool. I mean, they said.
Well, it reminds me of the rumors of Doctor Strange being in the season finale of WandaVision, and everybody was disappointed because that ended up not being true. So we will see. I'm a lot more excited about the Loki series. I can't believe that I missed the first trailer a few months ago. I just now caught up to it because the second Loki trailer was trending so much and so many people on YouTube were talking about it. I checked out. I was like, oh, this is the second trailer? I got to check out the first trailer. Loki looks really good. I think that actually might be the best streaming series, has the potential to become the best streaming series, even better than WandaVision. What do you think?
Oh, I think so. It's the multiverse series, right? He's going to be going to different.
Well, yeah, he's fracturing space-time because he stole the Tesseract, and they're trying to get him to help fix it. I'm assuming that he's going to be going up against different variants of himself because there's going to be multiple universe versions of Loki, including a DB Cooper version, which is kind of neat, kind of funny. And there's like a Mad Max version, Mad Max President Loki. It looks really intriguing, and it deals with time travel and parallel universes and a lot more science fiction fantasy stuff. And so I'm very excited for the Loki um, series coming up. I wish it would come out now, but it's not coming out until June. I actually watched Thor: The Dark World for the first time because I was so pleasantly surprised by the Loki trailer. You know, I wanted to have more background on Loki, and I know that Loki played. He was a big supporting character in Dark World, and Dark World was okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It gets better after about 45 minutes. Thor: The Dark World, the first 45 minutes is boring and slow as hell. And Natalie Portman's romance with Chris Hemsworth, Thor, doesn't seem very believable. Her acting seems a little bit wooden. But overall, I still thought it was a good movie. But
Yeah.
yeah, probably my least favorite MCU movie would be the Incredible Hulk movie. But anyway,
So, like I said, I don't know if I'll accept another Wolverine that's not Hugh Jackman. I need Hugh Jackman back.
oh, you have a crush on Hugh Jackman?
No, it's not really. It's not a crush. It's just that he's a really good. He's a really good Wolverine, and no one else can fill his shoes.
I don't know. It just depends on the actor. It has to be the right kind of actor.
Now, Carl Urban is like the only one I'll accept as the new Wolverine. He was great in The Boys.
Yeah, he has a gritty, like anti-hero feel that you need to portray Wolverine. I don't know. Only time will tell. We shall see. There's rumors that they're going to bring a version of Fantastic Four and X-Men into the MCU, but it's going to be it's going to be the Chris Feige Disney version. So it's going to be a different version. For what I understand, it's supposed to be a different version in the Fox universe. Yeah, they acquired the characters from the Fox universe, but the Fox universe, Dark Phoenix bombed. It was the first X-Men movie to actually lose money, and it kind of the X-Men Fox universe kind of died with a whimper, not with a bang. So I don't see why they would bring that back, considering that the last movie was not that popular. Um, there's some ambiguity of whether Deadpool actually takes place in the Fox. I mean, I guess it's sort of supposed to, but it doesn't necessarily have to, because there was a different actor who portrayed Colossus, I think, in Deadpool compared to the original Colossus in the original X-Men trilogy. So in theory, that could be a totally different universe, just a different Fox universe that could tie in with the MCU. But we'll have to see. I know. Ryan Reynolds is trying to lobby. You just sent me something on Skype. What did you
Yeah,
say?
this is what Carl Urban as Wolverine would look like.
It looks pretty cool. I totally support it if he's willing to do it, and Kevin Feige is willing to hire him. Why the hell not? Why the hell not?
Yeah, that looks really good.
Anything else on your mind, Daniel? Everything going okay with
Also,
apartment hunting and all that stuff?
yeah, I tried to talk to my psychologist and I said, like, I really wanted that apartment. I really wanted that apartment. And she was like telling me, like, well, someone else signed the papers before you did.
Okay, well, just keep
And
looking. Don't give up. Keep looking.
but you know what? I gotta tell you, that apartment was so nice. I mean, like I told you, it was hydro, electricity, everything included. It was like $800 a month. All I had to pay was my internet bill and my phone bill, and it was great. It was awesome. And I mean, she did tell me. She did tell me I was the first one to sign. She said
Did you
that
find
morning.
out if it was 1/3 of your income or was it the full amount?
I asked her on her messaging thing. She has
Okay,
to
what
call me
was the
back now.
answer?
Well, she has to call me back.
She
You
hasn't
know.
called you back. Oh, that
No.
sucks.
But it's just like, okay. So she gave me like kind of a sob story, like, well, this person signed before you, and this person was poor, and he is
You're
a
poor
was a
too.
what?
You're poor too. You
Yeah,
get Social Security disability, and that's not a lot of money.
and like he said, well, this person was poor. They were homeless. They didn't know where to go. They were in need, and and like, well, I'm in need too, and
Well, it's
you
just
know,
first come, first serve. If they got to it first, then just keep looking, okay? Don't give up.
no, it just kind of it just pisses me off because you know what? If that was the place I saw for the first time, I would have got there before. But that had to be the
Well, I
second
mean, you
place.
don't know. You can't predict the future. Sometimes you can, but most times you can't. All you can try to do is anticipate, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, uh,
Mhm.
and just keep pushing, keep trying. It takes a while.
Mm.
I mean, I've looked for apartments before. It takes a while. It's not something that you can just do snap, snap. I mean, they make it so complicated. Canada is very similar to the United States. It's a little different, but very similar. I mean, they make it so complicated. I'm gonna put my chips up, my bag of
It's like
chips
you
up.
said. There's a shortage. There's a
I
shortage
don't
of.
have I don't have smog munchies anymore because I closed my window.
It's
Anyway,
like you said. There was just a shortage of cheap apartments out there, and I said to myself, you
well,
know
it's
what? I'm not gonna.
because these rich property developers are using rental properties as an investment to write off taxes. It
Mm-hmm.
also becomes a shell game where not only they're basically making money off the front end because they're overinflating the value of property, and so that means that the value of the property is going up faster than the value of their mortgage, so they're just making money owning an empty apartment, and so they don't have to loosen their requirements or their restrictions because it's just a way to park for a billionaire to park his money.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have like these billionaires, they make money off the front end. Sometimes they buy low income apartments and then they purposely don't maintain them. And then they let them get condemned by the city. They've done this in LA with many places, and then they evict everybody. Then once everybody gets evicted, they pay like maybe $100,000 fine, and then they tear down the apartment. Now they can legally tear it down because there's nobody living there anymore because it's been condemned. And then they build a luxury apartment, and they're mostly empty. Like LA in Los Angeles alone, I haven't checked the rest of the city. This was before COVID, but they had 111,000 empty apartments. I'm sure it's even more now. And it's why there are so many empty apartments. There's so many homeless people living on the streets of LA. It's because most people cannot afford 1,600 a month rent, 1,800 a month rent, $2,000 a month rent. The average cost of rent now in LA is like 1,600 a month. You would need a job making 4,800 a month just to qualify. There are no jobs that pay that much. If there are, they're usually few and far in between, like maybe a movie producer or an engineer or a doctor. But most people don't have qualifications to get those high paying jobs. And most jobs don't pay a living wage anymore. So you're forced to stock up on roommates and but basically the problem is they allow corruption. They allow property developers just to gobble up all the existing property. They let the city of LA to do the dirty work to evict tenants by just purposely not maintaining the property. They tear it down. They build an empty luxury apartment. They're making money off of empty apartments. That's how this shell game works. They make money off the front end because they buy low, mortgage high, and then the value goes up even higher than their mortgage. So that's how they make money off the front end. They're making money off the back end. They're getting a mortgage income tax deduction on any property that's worth more than $100,000. And they just write it off their income taxes. Now it becomes a massive tax shelter. Why should they have to lower their requirements? I don't agree with this though, but they're not going to lower their requirements to rent to poor residents because why would they want to risk liability when they can just make money off building empty apartments and having a perceived value that nobody can afford? But yeah, until we start seeing housing as a human right, we're all going to be priced out of existence. But yeah, until we start seeing how, okay, the best way, okay, I need to summarize this in like a one-liner that hits it out of the ballpark, like a home run. But until we see housing as a human right and not a property investment, we're all going to be eventually priced out of existence.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, and so that affects it's internationally because there's a lot of international property developers that buy up property, gobble it up, inflate, tear it down, build luxury apartments, and it's like it's freaking crazy because apartments used to not be considered a luxury; it used to be considered a necessity. But we've allowed corruption of the system. I say they need to take away their the mortgage income tax deduction, or at least they need to limit it. Maybe they need to cap it at like $1 million. Take the mortgage income tax deduction, cap it at $1 million. And that would what that would force is property developers, landlords who own large apartment complexes that are worth say 50 million. They're like, oh crap, how am I going to pay my taxes? Well, I need to rent it out. Oh crap, my rents are too high. I need to lower my rent to where people can afford it. I need to lower my qualifications to where people can afford it. Right now, there's no incentive for landlords, property developers to rent to poor people. There's no incentive to rent to average, even middle class people because they make money off of empty apartments and they write it off their taxes. The whole tax system is written for to take advantage of that because they, everybody's bribed. All your elected politicians are bribed and bought off. Most of them are, not all of them, but most of them. And so I don't know if it's going to change anytime soon. We need somebody like FDR, but I don't know in this political climate we're going to have anybody like FDR. But who knows? But anyway.
Yeah.
We got about 3 minutes left. I normally do a 5-minute timer. You still there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Any last words you want to talk about? I actually got 2 minutes left. We got 2 minutes left.
I talked about the Reddit, the Spider-Man trailer that leaked on Reddit. I wanted to see if you thought it was real. I mean, it looked kind of fake to me.
Send me a link real quick. Make it quick.
But everybody was like, "Oh, it's fake," it's fake. Some people were like, "Oh no, it's real. I was there," and I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of trolls on Reddit. Let me see if I can do a search for it.
Don't tell me I lost it. Oh, here we go. 1 second.
Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah, or No Way Home. Wait.
No Way Home.
Okay, right here. I'll give it to you right here.
All right. Says the video is private and it's unavailable.
Oh.
So it was a fake video. I mean, because if it was an official trailer, they wouldn't make it private.
Mm-hmm.
It's no longer available. That's a dead link. It may have gotten taken down for copyright. That's possible, but you said it showed like the arms of Dr. Octopus, but it didn't actually show Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fan-made trailer edited together based on your description.
Yeah.
But we got to go. Time is up. It's been about a half hour. Thank you for joining me, Daniel. We'll talk more on future podcasts. But this is Steampunk Starraisin. The world is a mess, and I just want to steampunk it. Episode 24, April 14th, 2021. You have a nice day, and I will see you 25 billion years. I will.
Bye.
Bye.